wrap up of... So, as I said, I feel like you have seen not murder mystery, but like a second, I sort of like Oswell, or nope, George, on, and ended up being it, yeah, I was confused, like not confused, but, and like, and no, 4.5. Oh my god, no. So the ratings I gave to these books are 4 point, no, wait, what the fuck, it's not 4, it's 2. So hello everyone and welcome back to another video here in my channel. If you're new, hi and welcome. I'm Ra. I'm very happy to see you here, and for this week's video I have my, what month? April? Yeah, my April wrap-up video. And if you're new to the book community, you don't know what a wrap-up is. It's basically a video, a post on Instagram, a video on TikTok, where creators that talk about books like me, we tell you, like, we say what books we read during the month, and our ratings, our opinions, what the books are about, etc. So I hope you are excited to see this video. If you are, like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so you can notify when I post a brand new video. And now let's get on with the video, because I read 8 books on April and I am here to tell you all about them. As I said, I read 8 books on the month of April. 4 of them were on my, 5 of them were on my ebook, and the rest of them, the other 3, I read physically. So I'm gonna start with the physical books, mainly because I can actually show you the books, and I think, it can be a bit more interesting to actually see the book. I don't know, I'm just gonna start with the physical book. The first book I finished and I want to talk about is Good Girl Bad Blood. This is the second book from the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. I feel you have seen this book quite a lot in the past few videos, because I have been filming quite a lot with this. I had to push myself to finish it, not because it was bad, but because it was taking me a long time to actually read it. And it was one of the best books I read last month. I rated it 4.75 stars. I liked this one a bit more than the first one, and I have a reading vlog in my channel with this and the first book, so you can go see it. I will put it on the I don't know which one, but I will put it on the eye, whatever corner it is, you will see it. And this book is about a second case that Pippa has to, investigate. If you have not seen, if you have not read the first part, in the first part there's a case that Pippa, who's the main character, is trying to investigate for a school project, I think it is. And in this one, there is a different case with different people, the same people from the same town, but the people involved is different, and it is much more interesting, at least for me. I like this one so much more. I was much more involved with it. I am so in love with these characters. Like, at one point I actually felt I knew them. Like, I actually felt I was living where they live. Like, they maybe said, oh yeah, this street, whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, of course, like that's the street near my house. No, it's not. You're not even part of this world. You're not even English to, be there. Like, what the fuck? It was so good. The ending had me, like, shocked for so long. Like, it was so confusing. Things were happening so fast. I was so confused, but it was so good. I really enjoyed it. That's why I rated it 4.75 stars. And now I cannot wait for the third one and for the novella, which I'm also doing a reading vlog. You will see it hopefully this month. I want to, have it done for maybe for the 3rd week of this month, hopefully, but I don't know. I just hope I can post it soon so you can see that. I really enjoyed this book, and I am, very excited for the TV show when it comes out. And I'm just reading these because first I was interested, and I'm interested in them, but also because I wanted to read them before the TV show came up. And it has not even, started yet, so I still have a bit of time, but I don't know how much, so I want to spread through the third and the novellas I have, read everything before the TV show begins, and I'm very excited for that. So yeah, that is the first book I read last month, and the next one is this one. This is 1984 by George Orwell. This is one of the books I had to read for my contemporary literature course. As you know, I'm, a university student. I'm majoring in English. If you don't know, hi, I'm Ra. I'm studying an English degree at university, and I have a lot of literature courses. And this specific semester, I have a contemporary literature one, and this is one of the books I had to read for that. I did exam. I don't know how well it went because I don't know the mark yet, but this was an interesting experience to read because it was interesting from the second part onwards, but there were like some parts I was like, what the fuck? Why do I have to read about this? I'm not interested in it. It ended up being pretty decent. I rated it 4 stars, and it is about this is a dystopian novel that, you know, happens in the future, like from this year. Like the author was born in 1948, so he made like this dystopian novel where, you know, everything happens in 1984, and it is about this society that has someone constantly watching them. Like they have like cameras everywhere, microphones everywhere, everyone is being watched constantly by politicians, by, you know, the higher society, let's say. And, you know, this main character figures out that they're being watched, and so he's trying to figure out how to tell everyone else without, you know, being killed. And there's this book involved with like the rules, and none of the society actually knows what is going on, because history is being written constantly. Like there's books being re-edited and, you know, deleting stuff, including others, so people don't have actual proof of things they want to, you know, say. So you know, this normal society, like the, you know, common society and common people cannot go to the higher society, say, hey, you did this, you said that, because they don't have proof of it. It's a crazy book. It's a dystopian book. It's just crazy. It's a bit hard to read. I feel like I am not, for a non-English speaker, this was a bit hard to read, but I really liked it at the end. It was, again, a bit hard at some parts, but it was okay. And, you know, it's a classic book, and I actually made myself read this book because for this specific exam I had this book and A Brave New World, and I already read A Brave New World a while ago, like a few years ago, and I went, I'm gonna read this one, because if I don't, I'm never gonna read it. And this is one of the books that I wanted to read for so long, but I never get, you know, around to it, and this was like the perfect opportunity. That's why I read it. And at the end, it ended up being kind of decent. The ending, I was freaking out, because I was like, there's no way this character is, you know, this character is this or this character is that. Yeah, I was wrong. I was so wrong. I cannot be a detective. I think I said a few times in my channel, I cannot be a detective. I'm not like that. I'm not built to be one. So, you know, I cannot even guess things right. So yeah, this is, you know, a pretty decent book, classic. If you want to read it, go ahead. If you don't, better for you, so you do you. But yeah, this is another book I read. And the last book I read physically is Coraline by Neil Gaiman, and this is the other book I had to read for my contemporary literature course. This is supposed to be a kid's book because he wrote this book for his child, like his daughter, because she really liked like horror stories. And for me, I don't think it's for a kid. I'm so sorry. I read it, I was scared as freak while reading it. I'm like, no, I'm not even, no, this is not a kid's book. It can be, because it teaches you how to be brave and how to, you know, how to do things you are scared of, and to be proud of what you do and who you are and stuff. The book teaches you stuff, but I don't think it's for a kid. It also depends on the kid and everything, but I don't think this book is for kids. But it's a horror story about Coraline, who is this 12-year-old whose parents do not pay attention to her because she wants constant attention, but her mother has to do things, her father is constantly working, so she's just being kind of left out. Like, she knows more about the neighbors she has in her house than from her parents. At one point, she goes through this door at her house and goes into this like parallel mirror dimension where she has another like pair of parents that pay attention to her constantly. Those parents have like, you know, button eyes, like they are like dolls, and that's a scary part of it. Plus the older mother is just, that woman is scary as shit. I was scared as fuck for that older woman, but oh my god. But yeah, the book is good. I rated it 4 stars as well. I feel like I have been rating 4 stars everything, but I promise I haven't. I have some older books that are pretty bad, like reviewed and like not high ratings, but these ones were actually decent and I really enjoyed them. So that is why I rated this one 4 stars, even though I don't think it's a kid's book. It is good. I really liked the movie when I saw it. The novel was good, the movie is great, so just, you know, if you want to read the book, go ahead. You can also watch the movie. But yeah, that is the other book I read physically. And now let me tell you about the books I read in my ebook and in my phone, because the first one I want to talk about is Walk On by Stephen Panis. That book was actually pretty good. I was not expecting it because it's a non-fiction book about grief. So it tells a story about this guy who died sadly, like this teenager at uni who died, and it tells you like it is about grief and about how to process like the death of someone. And I was not expecting to be that good. Like it gives you examples of famous people that went through different like personal problems and personal problems. I don't know if problems is the word, but like personal stuff, and how they overcame them. So you can like learn from those. And it tells you about the guy who died, who seemed to be incredible, nice, sweet human being. I don't know him, and I ended up actually like, oh my god, I'm sure I would have been a great friend to him, but again, I didn't ever knew him. So yeah, it is a non-fiction book. It is just how the process of grieving works, and as someone who has lost quite a few people in my life, I know how that feels, and reading about it in such a special way, it was actually pretty good. That's why I rated it 4 stars. I was not expecting it to be that good because I don't really like non-fiction books. I don't really read non-fiction. I like memoirs, but I don't really like non-fiction in general. So I enjoyed this one quite a lot, and that's why I rated 4 stars. I will put the cover of all the books from now on, because all of them are now from my ebook. So after that one, I want to tell you about the 4 books I read in the first week of May, which is the full off-campus series by L. Kennedy. In April, I read The Deal, The Mistake, The Score, and The Goal, which are the 4 books in order. And it was an interesting experience. I don't really like romances. I am not the biggest fan of romance. I like Lauren Asher and I like some other specific authors, but in general terms, I am not a big romance fan. And so for me, reading these books were not hell, but it was kind of hard at some points, because like I'm not a fan of sport romances in general, because I have not read actual good sport romances. But I don't know why it got into me that I said I'm gonna start with L. Kennedy. I could have started with so many other authors and so many other books, and I don't know why I decided to start with these, but I read them, the 4 of them, and they are interesting. Let's say interesting. Like, I didn't like most of them. So the ratings I gave to these books are The Deal 2.75, The Mistake is the second one, 3 stars. That's the one I liked the most. Then The Score was 2.5 and The Goal was 2.75. As you can see, I did not really enjoy them, but there were things that I liked. Like the main characters, the girls, are actually pretty decent. The boys, some of them I liked more than others. The tropes of the books, I didn't like. I'm sorry, I didn't like the tropes. How they were written. I didn't like the writing style. It gave me a lot of Wattpad kind of vibes, and I'm not really, a Wattpad kind of person. Like, I don't like those kind of books. I read Wattpad when I was a kid, and I really liked it. But now, I have read much more, and I know what a good book, how a good book is written, and how, good books are written, and I like that now. But, I'm sure that if I read these books when I was 13, 12, well, maybe not 12, but like 13, 14 years old, I would have enjoyed them so much, and they would have been my biggest, books ever. Like, I would have been in love with them. I would probably be a much more of a romance person if I read those books then, but I haven't. I read them now, and that's why I didn't really like them. And something I want to do is I want to give you like a rating of the books, of the male, like the man, like the guy main characters, and the women main characters, like how I have them like categorized in like order of favorites, because I actually sent like some messages to a friend about it, and I'm gonna put a screenshot of that because I feel so funny. So my favorite books, as you have seen because of the ratings, my favorite one was as a book, okay, not as like characters or as like tropes, as a book as a whole. My favorites, as you can see because of the ratings, are Mistake first, The Goal second, The Deal third, because those have the same rating, but I liked The Goal more, and then The Score is the last one. Though that is like my ratings as like the book overall. And then if I have to rate the guys, those would be Tucker first. Tucker, I love him with all my heart. Love Tucker, that's number 1. Then I have the guy from The Mistake, Logan, which is Logan. So Logan is the second one. And then I have Dean. Wait, no. Yeah. I will check it on the screenshot because I don't really remember now. But I think it was Dean and the last one Garrett, if I'm not wrong. But I think that is like the guys. And then I remember the girls because the girls. So the girls are Grace first, Ali second, Sabrina, and Hannah. That is the ratings I have for everything that I can rate of those books. So yeah, those are all the 4 books I read at the beginning of the month. I actually read those in like a week because again, I do really like them and the style was very Wattpad like. I sped through them quite fast. So yeah, those are the books. If you don't know what those are, they are a series that is sport romances. They are hockey romances, if I'm not wrong. All of the guys are all hockey players and the girls are like, one of them maybe studies communication, another one studies law, another like they study different things, and they are all how like they end up together. Like they're just hockey sport romances, and they have a lot of plus 18 scenes. Those I didn't like, but and then there's a few that have some tropes that I don't like. But in general terms, it was an experience. I read them. I can say I read them. Did I like them? No, but I read them and I have an opinion on them, which is nice. And I know who I can, I didn't like them because I didn't, but I know who I can recommend these books to because I have some friends who may enjoy them. So I know what books to recommend to specific people now. Like I know who to recommend these books that I didn't like, but I know those people are gonna enjoy, and that's what I like to read, books that I maybe not like, because I can recommend those to people that I know they're gonna like. So that is why I read them basically. I knew I was not gonna like them, but I wanted to have an opinion on them, and I wanted to be able to recommend those to people that I know they're gonna love them. And I already recommended them to a few people and they have said that they really like them, so I'm happy for that. So yeah, I hope you liked this video where I told you, every single book I read last month. I hope you're excited for the books I'm gonna read in May and the wrap up of that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so you get notified when I post a brand new video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.